Hello everyone, girls and boys of all ages, from Vertical, the channel that accompanies you on your personal growth journey. In this video we meet an extraordinary character, the Count of Saint Germain, who lived in the 19th century and, according to many, is still alive. Immortal, ascended master, traveler of parallel worlds. Let's meet him in this first episode. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to the channel by hovering your mouse over our logo at the bottom right. The Count of Saint Germain is a figure shrouded in mystery, and his official biographies are full of gaps and ambiguities. Presumably born in 1691, perhaps in Transylvania, his true origins are still a matter of debate. Some sources suggest that he was the illegitimate son of Francis II Rákóczi, Prince of Transylvania, although there is no definitive evidence to support this theory. What is certain is that Saint Germain emerged as a prominent figure in the European court from 1740 onwards. The first documented mention of the Count of Saint Germain dates back to 1745, when he was arrested in London on charges of espionage, although he was soon released. During those years, he began to frequent the court of King Louis XV of France, becoming a confidant of numerous nobles and diplomats. Thanks to his extraordinary charm, his mastery of languages such as French, English, German, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish and even Arabic, the Count earned an impressive reputation. Voltaire, one of the most famous thinkers of the Enlightenment, wrote of him, "The man who knows everything and who never dies." This phrase, often quoted in stories about Saint Germain, reflects the mystery that surrounded him and his supposed immortality. Frederick the Great, King of Prussia, also admired him, calling him a very learned man, although mysterious. The Count was also a great entertainer, playing the violin and harpsichord with great skill. He was said by his contemporaries to have had an encyclopedic knowledge of the arts, sciences and history. The British ambassador to Venice, Sir Horace Walpole, once wrote in a letter, "The Count of Saint Germain is here, and he passes himself off as a man who never eats, but lives only on an elixir." Saint Germain found a great reception at the court of Louis XV, where he became a personal friend of the king, so much so that the latter entrusted him with delicate diplomatic tasks. He is known to have long conversations with the highest dignitaries, speaking of complex subjects such as the history of ancient Egypt and the science of alchemy. Some claim that he possessed the formula for immortality, based on his alchemical practice and the use of a secret elixir. During his stay at the French court, the Count of Saint Germain also became known for never eating in public. This unusual behavior contributed to the legends of his longevity and his supposed supernatural nature. It is said that he drank only a special elixir, which, according to some, would grant him health and eternal life. One of the most curious testimonies regarding Saint Germain came from Madame de Pompadour, the mistress of Louis XV, who noted how the alchemist never seemed to age, even after several decades of meetings. Giacomo Casanova, a famous Italian adventurer, also reported meeting Saint Germain in Paris. In his book Story of My Life, Casanova described the Count as an extraordinarily intelligent and mysterious man. According to Casanova, Saint Germain claimed to possess an elixir capable of prolonging life indefinitely and of transmuting common metals into pure gold. However, Casanova, known for his skepticism, remained dubious of these claims, despite the Count's magnetic charm. Another figure linked to Saint Germain is the controversial alchemist and occultist Alessandro Cagliostro, who was said to have been tutored by the Count himself. Cagliostro claimed that Saint Germain had revealed to him some of the secrets of alchemy and magic. This connection between Saint Germain and Cagliostro further fueled the myth that the Count was a master of the occult. The mystery surrounding the death of the Count of Saint Germain is one of the most fascinating aspects of his legend. His official death was recorded on February 27, 1784, at the castle of Prince Charles of Hesse-Kassel, Germany, where Saint Germain had spent the last years of his life. However, many people continued to report sightings of the Count in Europe after his alleged death. In 1789, for example, he was seen in Paris, where, according to some testimonies, he tried to warn Queen Marie Antoinette of the imminent danger of the French Revolution. Even in the 19th century, several prominent figures claimed to have met the Count. Russian theosophist Helena Blavatsky, founder of the Theosophical Society, claimed to have had spiritual contact with him and to have seen him in the flesh. In 1821, the famous medium and clairvoyant Madame Blavatsky declared that Saint Germain was one of the ascended masters, higher spiritual beings who guided humanity toward enlightenment. This linked him to a group of eternal beings, operating at a higher level of consciousness, unbound by time and space. One of the most famous stories about Saint Germain came from the French diplomat Charles de Hesse, who hosted him in the last years of his life. Charles, in describing his friendship with the Count, said that Saint Germain never seemed ill or afflicted by age, demonstrating extraordinary health and vitality, even in his final days. De Hesse, although a pragmatic man, was fascinated by the Count's apparently supernatural abilities and his profound knowledge of esoteric and scientific disciplines. The philosopher and scientist Jean-Jacques Rousseau, another contemporary of Saint Germain, said he was impressed by the alchemist's incredible intellectual gifts and encyclopedic knowledge, claiming that he was able to discuss any subject with competence and authority. The composer Rameau and the philosopher Diderot were also impressed by the Count, especially by his ability to play musical instruments with a mastery never seen before. Saint Germain also impressed figures connected with politics and science of his time. Among his closest friends and acquaintances were influential figures such as Benjamin Franklin and King Frederick II of Prussia, who were intrigued by his charisma and his alleged esoteric knowledge. The life of the Count of Saint Germain represents an unsolved enigma that challenges our understanding of history and reality. Through the testimonies of his contemporaries and the traces left in history, the image emerges of an extraordinary man, capable of transcending the limits of human existence. Whether legend or hidden truth, the Count of Saint Germain remains a figure of mystery who still today invites us to reflect on the boundaries of science, alchemy, and spiritual dimensions. His name resonates as a bridge between the physical and spiritual worlds, between our reality and the infinite possibilities that might exist beyond the limits of ordinary perception. The Count of Saint Germain is one of the most enigmatic and mysterious figures in history. An alchemist, philosopher, and adventurer, his life is shrouded in myth and legend, with many believing he lived far beyond the normal limits of human life, some even suggesting he may still be alive. But who was the Count of Saint Germain, and what secrets did his extraordinary life hold? As we continue to explore his alchemical practice, theories about his longevity, and his mysterious death, we may connect to the concepts of universal energy, parallel worlds, and the fifth dimension. According to many tales, the Count of Saint Germain was a master of alchemy, the discipline that seeks to transform vulgar matter into gold and discover the elixir of immortality. But alchemy, for Saint Germain, was not merely a physical quest, it was above all a spiritual quest, a path of inner transformation that aimed to elevate the human spirit and connect with the hidden forces of the universe. Saint Germain is said to have possessed an extraordinary knowledge of chemistry, medicine, and philosophy. His contemporaries were fascinated by his intelligence and skill. He was known to prepare synthetic gems, purify diamonds, and create never-before-seen pigments, suggesting that he had a deep understanding of the processes of transmutation. Some alchemists believe that he was able to discover the secret of the Philosopher's Stone, the legendary object capable of granting immortality. But Saint Germain was not just an alchemist. He was also a man with profound esoteric knowledge. He was a polyglot, spoke several languages perfectly and never seemed to age. People who met him decades later always described him in the same way, a man in his 40s, full of vigor and youth. This fueled the belief that he was able to control time and aging, living in a different dimension, perhaps even traveling between parallel worlds. One of the most fascinating aspects of the life of the Count of Saint Germain is his supposed longevity. Many witnesses claim to have met him at different times, always apparently young. Voltaire, an 18th-century writer and philosopher, said of him, "He is the man who never dies and knows everything." His apparent ability to defy time has led to theories that Saint Germain had discovered the secret of immortality, perhaps through alchemy or other esoteric practices. Over time, many people claim to have met the Count of Saint Germain after his official death in 1784. There are accounts of meetings with Saint Germain in the 19th and even 20th centuries. These tales fueled the idea that he was able to move between different dimensions or that he had access to some sort of universal energy that allowed him to exist in a state outside of time. If you feel that you have discovered something new today and you like the discovery, leave a like to this video. Any thoughts or insights you have in mind, write them immediately in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of each of our further publications. Also share it with your friends. May happiness always be your faithful companion.